the risk of significant harm to the climate system is indisputably established. Climate change poses a quintessentially universal risk to all states. This risk is of a general and urgent character, requiring the identification of a corresponding general standard of conduct to be applied subject to the principle of common but differentiated responsibility and respective capabilities. Under these circumstances, the Court recognizes that the standard of due diligence for preventing significant harm to the climate system is stringent. As concerns climate change, a heightened degree of vigilance and prevention is required. The Court concludes that the duty of states to prevent significant environmental harm applies in the context of climate change, and that this duty forms part of the most directly relevant applicable law.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
Mm-hmm. One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Right? So
16-year-olds are to be given the right to vote in all UK elections as part of reforms just being announced. Let's go live to Westminster. Our political correspondent Mari Aurora is standing by for us. Mari, what's the government proposing?
Yeah, morning, Gareth. So this is a manifesto pledge, and what Labour is saying is it is a manifesto promise delivered. So in the next general election, 16 and 17-year-olds will legally be allowed to vote. Really, really interesting in terms of these reforms. Now, the government are saying that there are three things that they are focusing on when it comes to these election reforms. First of all, that age change, of course. Second of all, they are going to allow bank cards to be able to be used as voter ID. Remember, the Conservatives brought in voter ID. People had to have very specific forms of ID in order to vote. And if you didn't, you were no longer allowed, even if you were registered to vote. Well, they are changing that so you can also now use your bank cards. They say that that is going to extend people's ability to exercise their democratic rights. And then third of all, they are going to be toughening up some of the rules to guard against foreign political interference and also the abuse of campaigners. Now, let's look at the voter age just for a second. Now, the justification for changing these voter age rules is that 16 and 17-year-olds, they can go to work, they therefore pay taxes, and therefore, if they pay taxes, they should be allowed to choose what is done with those taxes, what is done with that money. Also, they are obviously allowed to serve in the military as well. So there are lots of things that they can already do that require a level of capacity and maturity. And what Labour is arguing is therefore they should be given the right to vote on issues that affect them.